Hey guys, it's Deidre and welcome back to my channel. As a nurse, I don't always want to cook after my long 12-hour shifts, so today I'm going to be bringing you along as I meal prep for my work week. I have a couple different recipes I'm going to be making, but the first that I'm starting with is actually a Buffalo Chicken Casserole. All of these recipes are quick and easy, and I'll make sure to leave the recipes linked down in the description box below. I'm going to start by adding in 2 bags of raw riced cauliflower. Now the recipe also calls for about 1.5 cups of diced carrots, but my store actually has a riced cauliflower blend that includes carrots in it, so I'm using 1 bag of that and then 1 bag of just the riced cauliflower. Then I'm going to go ahead and chop up half of a sweet yellow onion and add that in. Now you'll see here I'm using my onion chopper, and this has been a lifesaver to stop all the tears that are involved with cutting onions. Then I'm going to go ahead and quickly just dice up some celery. This does call for about 1.5 cups of celery. I'm not really measuring any of my ingredients here. I've made this a couple times, so I'm just eyeballing however I think looks like enough that I want in the recipe. Then I'm going to add in about 1 teaspoon of salt and just 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, all into the same mixing bowl. I'm pulling out my food scale now to add about 1 pound of shredded cooked chicken. I bulk cook my chicken when I can in the crock pot at the beginning of the month, and that way I can use it in all of my recipes and not have to worry about having to wait to cook some chicken. I'm going to quickly give that one little hit on the blender just to get those ingredients all incorporated before adding any of my wet ingredients. Now to our mixing bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of mayonnaise and then 1 cup of Frank's Red Hot Sauce. This recipe is actually a paleo recipe if you choose to make your own mayonnaise and your own ranch dressing. I will be making my own ranch, but I didn't make my own mayo today just because I already had some on hand that we like, but I have made it in the past and it's very easy. So let me know down in the comments below if you'd be interested on seeing a homemade mayonnaise recipe. Now that it's all blended together, I'm just going to transfer all of that mixture into a 9x13 casserole dish and then cover it with aluminum foil. This is going to bake in the oven for about 45 minutes at 375 degrees covered, and then you're going to uncover it and bake it for an additional 15 minutes just to get it a little golden. So now, since both of my recipes tonight call for ranch dressing, I'm just going to make my own ranch. So this is super easy. This is actually my take on the dump ranch recipe. I first did this when we did Whole30 back last September, and this is our favorite ranch dressing now. So I'm just going to take 1 whole egg, and I think the recipe technically says that everything should be room temperature, but I've made this several times and I don't feel like it really makes a difference whether it's room temperature or not. So the 1 egg is in there. I'm going to do 1 cup of light tasting olive oil. And I promise you that you need to get the light tasting. Full flavor olive oil is going to give this a bad taste. I know from experience. So there's that. Now I'm going to take some coconut milk, and you want the full fat coconut milk. And let's open that up. Do give it a good shake first. Though if you want, I have also done it where I don't shake it and just use the coconut cream that gathers on top, and that makes more of like a dipping ranch, whereas this will be something you can drizzle. be a big chunk. Whoops, and I made a little bit of a mess there, but it's okay. Here's our half cup. And now I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm just using this organic squeeze bottle, but you can most definitely do a fresh lemon or however you would like. And now we'll get to adding our spices. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. One teaspoon of black pepper. A teaspoon of salt. Oh, you know what? I'm using a half teaspoon there. Thought that looked a little small. It's getting a little caked, so let's just do it this way. Let's see, now I need my onion powder. I'm going to do a teaspoon of that. And then this is where the recipe gets to where you just do whatever flavors you like. So it calls for about 3 tablespoons of herbs. And I do a blend of parsley, dill, and chive. It's honestly entirely up to your taste preference. The dill gives it more of that traditional ranch taste. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use all that I have left in this little container for this batch just to get rid of it. And then because I used all of that, I'm just going to do a heaping teaspoon there, and let's just throw in some chives. I have to take my lid off. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking my immersion blender and placing it all the way to the bottom of my jar. So it's sitting on the bottom now. And I'm going to go ahead and start the blender, and I'm going to keep it at the bottom probably a good 10 or 15 seconds at least. But you'll start to see it emulsify. Okay, so now that that started emulsifying and you can see it kind of rising to the top there, I'll start bringing this up. I may have overfilled my jar just a little bit, but that's okay, we'll clean up any mess. There we go. So this is the consistency. I wanted it to be pourable. It will thicken just a little bit as it goes back in the fridge. The last recipe that I'm going to be making is an everything chicken bubble up. It's also going to bake at 375 degrees, so it's perfect to prep with this buffalo chicken. So first I'm going to take 1 block of cream cheese and half a cup of sour cream and add that into a mixing bowl. I'm also going to put in the rest of the 2 cups of my shredded chicken and about half a cup of ranch dressing to this. The ingredient that gives it its name is Trader Joe's Everything But the Bagel seasoning, and I'm going to put in about 2 teaspoons of that. And then move this all over to my stand mixer and give it a quick blend. It shouldn't take long to get everything incorporated. You really just want that seasoning to get mixed into that cream cheese. Then I'm going to be taking some canned biscuits. This is the smaller of the size. I believe it's a 7.5 ounce can. I get it at Walmart. And I'm just going to start by breaking these biscuits up into smaller pieces. That way it can be all incorporated throughout the dish. Why this is called a bubble up is actually because it'll almost be like little bubbles of biscuit, and all your dressing on top is going to just seep down in between those little pieces. So I'm going to take all of that chicken mixture and just spread it evenly over the top of the biscuits, making sure not to push down on them too much, because then you'll just have a flat layer of biscuit all along the bottom. My buffalo chicken is done, so I'm going to quickly bring it out of the oven and then put in my everything bubble up. This is going to bake for about 30 minutes, and then we will take it out and add some toppings. We're actually going to go ahead and eat this buffalo chicken now. So first I'm going to just plate 2 portions onto some regular dining plates and then top those with some of the homemade ranch dressing. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is my meal prep for the week for my lunches and dinners since I'll be working. And so I'm going to take the rest of all these portions and put them in these meal prep containers. That way I can quickly grab in the morning to pack my lunchbox, or when I get home I can just pull out a portion, since usually my husband may have already eaten depending on what time I get off work. So I've removed the bubble up for the first time, and I'm going to go ahead and add about half a cup of shredded cheese, 5 slices of crumbled up bacon, and just about another 2 teaspoons of the bagel seasoning over the top before placing it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. This just helps get all that cheese melted and a little bit browned. Once again, once it's out of the oven and it's cooled just a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and portion this out. Now I am only doing 6 servings of this just because it's not a whole lot of food, and I don't have a side item prepared. So I am having a little bit of trouble getting this to sticking to the bottom, the biscuits. So make sure that you do spray the pan before you put it in. I forgot that step and it is very important. So I'm just going to put these back over in those meal prep containers, the same from before. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you'd be interested in any more videos on how I meal prep for a busy work week.